everybody, and welcome back to Life with Lolo. It is time for a weekly recap of Power Book 4. This is called Force. This is Season 1, Episode 1, and it was titled A Short Fuse and a Long Memory. Alright, y'all, real quick before I jump into this recap review, if you are not already subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button along with the like button if you end up liking this recap review, and the notification bell to be notified when I drop new videos. Alright, y'all, so I apologize in advance if I'm not like all uppity and stuff like that, because it's raining outside and my mood is reflecting the rain because I'm kind of like wah wah. And yeah, so I'm gonna try to get my little pizzazz in there, because y'all don't deserve anything less than my little womp womp womp. But I'm not really feeling real womp wompish, so I'm gonna give what I can give, you know what I'm saying? But apologies in advance. Anyway, this book, because I don't even remember what episode I left off on book 2. Yes, book 2. I don't remember what episode I left off at. I still have not watched the rest of it. I think I stopped at episode 5, maybe, or 6. I don't know. But I still haven't watched the whole rest of the season of chapter 2 or book 2, whatever, child. I haven't watched that, so I don't know what's going on with Tyreek and them. But in this chapter, or book or whatever, this is Tommy's story. So it's not like Tommy in the past, it's Tommy present. So when he left New York, so we see Tommy, he in his car, and he driving or whatever, and he down like this windy road and stuff, and he just having like flashbacks. So he reminiscing. He's saying like New York ain't safe for him no more, and it was like him talking to his mom, and then he having flashes of what happened to him, him killing the dude with the glasses. I can't think of his name. But him choking out his mama, him choking out the girl who was just talking too much. I can't think of her name, but she not that important. Him taking the alibi, him about to throw Tyreek off the roof. Like he just having a whole bunch of flashes. And then he started driving real fast, so he going like 100, no lights on, down this real windy, dangerous road or whatever. And it looked like he about to kill himself, but he ended up stopping, because then he started having flashes of Keisha being dead, and you know that was his boo thing. And then flashes of ghosts or whatever. So I'm like, oh my God, Tommy, what is you doing? So then he stops, he presses on the brakes right before he gets to the sign where he could have just, ended it all or whatever. But I was like, Tommy, now I know you ain't finna do what I think you about to do, because then the book will be over and we just started the book. So you know what I'm saying? So I knew he wasn't gonna do it, but I was just like, ooh, child. He had my blood pressure high. But anyway, we see him making like a left going to Chicago. So then he going to Chicago. He pull up to this house and he gets a call from somebody in LA. And the dude like, well, where you at or whatever, why you not here yet? He was like, well, once I finish what I'm doing here, I'm gonna hop on the highway or whatever, but I see you when I see you. So he get out, and this dude try to run up on him talking about something. You gotta pay the parking fee. You see this, it's like a vacuum cleaner or something. He's talking about this is a parking thing, and this chair is VIP parking. And Tommy looking at him like, is you serious? So dude like, you want to pay the fee? He pulled out this little butter knife. It wasn't a butter knife, but it was like this little ass knife. And Tommy was like, really ain't pulled up his shirt. So dude was like, oh man, oh. So then Tommy was like, come here, give me that knife. So then he go for the knife, but slapped the dude. He was like, it hurt more when it's cold outside or whatever. So Tommy had got him. So then Tommy asked him, like, where the old broad who died that live up in that house? So dude, like, she ain't dead or whatever. She at Muldoon's, Mulhorns. And Tommy was like, what the hell is that? So he pulls up. It looked like it's an assisted living type jank. So he go in there, and we see this old lady. And she looked like she in this catatonic state or whatever. She just like hunked over. She ain't really seeing nothing. Tommy look at her, and then he dip out. We in this jail. So we in a jail, and this dude, he cutting this old man hair or whatever. He pull out the razor. I was like, oh shit, what's about to happen? But ain't nothing happened. He was just telling the CEO, he pulling the razor out. He putting the razor down and stuff. He was cleaning the man back of his neck. So the dude was like, if I was you, I would just do a quick cut and be up out of here. He was like, well, I don't know when I'm going to see you again. And the old dude was like, when you hit them walls, the outside walls or whatever, don't look back. So I guess he about to get out. So dude finished cutting his head. We found out his name D. So D walks up the prison steps and stuff, and everybody looking at him. So I'm like, this was something going on in the jail or whatever. Because when he go up to his pod or whatever, like, these not two dudes, it was like this gang of dudes, and they was like, yeah, we gonna let him get out and get real comfortable, and then we gonna stick it to him or whatever. So they plotting on his downfall. He ain't even out of jail yet. I said, Jesus. But anyway, we see Tommy, he at this bar, he flirting with the bartender. She was cute or whatever. He drinking his whiskey. He talking about the soup or something like that. And I said, he talking about the soup or he talking about her? Like, what's going on? And it looked like he was talking about a little bit of both, because we'll find out that later. But anyway, we see D, he getting out of jail. The CEO plotting on the sneakers, talking about some, ooh, these J's will go real good on such and such or whatever. I guess it was like an Etsy or a Plopsy. I don't know, child. But he said, I give you $150 for these sneakers. The D was like, look, I know them sneakers. I don't know what a Plopsy is, but I know them sneakers worth more than $150 or whatever. So no. And then the CEO pulled out like this barber kit. He was like, this ain't much, but me and the fellas got together and, you know, brought you this or whatever. This will get you started on the outside. So it was like this nice little barber kit and stuff like that. And so D was like, thank you, man. And the, you could have the J. So he walked out there barefoot. I said, not him walking out barefoot with just his socks on and in the cold ass Chicago. No, God, you'd have to give me some flip flops or something, Jesus. But anyway, when he get out there, his brother out there. So Lil Bro. I did not learn Lil Bro name, so his name gonna be Lil Bro until I learn his name. But anyway, he like, yo, what happened to your J's? You got ganked or whatever? He's like, no, chill. It's just material things. I don't need that or whatever. And he was like, all right, man. It's good to see you out on the other side. And so D started playing in the puddle, talking about the puddles is different. And he was like, what, it don't rain or snow on your side of the gate? He was like, yeah, but it just feel different or whatever. So we saw them. We see Tommy, he outside the bar or whatever, and he's smoking a cigarette, and this dude rolled up and was like, yo, you need to move. You need to move from the parking spot. Tommy like, what's with these dudes in this parking? So dude like, yo, you need to move or whatever. Move the F out the way and blah, blah, blah. So Tommy like, I ain't moving. And it's real funny because you said it again and you said you wasn't going to repeat yourself or whatever. So then this dude, Simon, he get out the driver's side car and he was like, he ready to tussle or whatever, but chaba. Tommy was like, let's go or whatever. So then this old guy get out the back seat and was like, excuse me. He was like, we ain't got time for all this or whatever like that. We got business to take care of. Like, we on the timeline or whatever. So he get out, he talked real nice to Tommy, asked Tommy to move his car. Tommy like, see, that's how you supposed to ask me. And so the dude was like, this Boston dude want to cause all these effing problems and stuff. Tommy was like, Boston? What? And so then the dude who was about to Simon, who was about to fight Tommy, he get back in the car talking about some, what did he say? F. Tom Brady and, what did he say? He said F Larry Bird and Tom Brady or whatever. I was so dead because he think Tommy from Boston. So Tommy just looking at him like, this dude crazy. So, that was that. And then we see this big boss or whatever. What was his name? Vic is the other guy. Walter Flynn. He the big boss or whatever. So I guess he running things up in Chicago or whatever like that. He talking to his daughter. And the scene was basically, she want to try to get in. She want to get in the business more than what she is, basically. And the dad basically like, look, you just need to sit back, be pretty, and run the books. Like, keep us legit, run the books. You can't do the things that your brother Vic do out there on the outside, because look at these hands. These hands too pretty to do all that. You just stay inside like you a woman. Stay inside, cook the food up, cook these books up, make it look good, and we handle the rest of the stuff. So she don't feel, she want to be in and all that other stuff. She don't like what daddy had said and stuff, but daddy don't really care because he worried about the money and keeping her safe. So, we see the old dude talking to Tommy, the one who got out the back seat. He asking Tommy what his name is and what, Tommy business is, what he doing in Chicago and all this other stuff. And, he tells Tommy, like, I like the way you did that. Like, you really held some restraint. And he hands him his business card. So Tommy like, all right, thank you, whatever. He like, well, where you going? Tommy like, I'm going west. So he was like, all right, bet, keep going west because you don't want nothing, you don't want to start no ish with the Flynn family because you about to start some mess. So Vic, who is Walter's son, he was the one fussing at Tommy to move from the parking spot originally or whatever, because Tommy was parked directly in front of the bar. So the old man worked for Walter Flynn, and Vic, you know, he worked for Walter Flynn. But of course, Vic, he think he's big shot because he the son. You know how they do, child. And then Simon, he is the errand boy of Vic, so he think he big shot because he second hand or first hand to Vic or whatever. So Simon was all this yak, all this talk. But anyway, the old dude, I don't know. I guess he's security, maybe. I don't know what his role was and everything, because it looked like he had a gun, like a holster with a gun and stuff like that. But he's talking to Tommy, and he basically telling Tommy, they're like, head west. You don't want to get involved in nothing that's going on in these streets of Chicago and stuff like that. And Tommy like, all right, whatever. You know, I don't want, you know, to get involved in anything. Anyway, so then Vic, we see Vic, he in the bar. He talking to the bartender, the same one that Tommy was talking to, the pretty black girl. So I guess Vic and the black girl had like some kind of relationship or whatever. And it sounded like the dad had a problem with the relationship that Vic and the girl had, because Vic was saying like he gonna tell his dad all about everything or whatever, and he just hope he not too late. And the girl was like, well, I can't tell you that you not too late or whatever. And then she go on about her way to the bar. But we already saw like she was flirting big time with Tommy. So it's like, boy, you was real late, because a new little white chocolate dropped in here, and I'm into him now, not you. But she don't say all that. She just basically told Vic, like, you know, I can't tell you that you're not too late. So Vic looking kind of hurt. He go tell Simon, watch out for her and don't get in no trouble. And Simon like, well, you know, I don't drink no more. I said, but why is that beer right in front of you? But you talking about something, you've been sober for a couple months. The math ain't mathing, Simon. But anyway, Vic go outside or whatever. He looked Tommy up and down. And the old dude was like, no, y'all want that problems. Whatever y'all thinking about, squash it. So then Vic get in the car, the old dude get in the car. Tommy go inside the bar or whatever. So dude who don't drink, Simon, he up there pressing up on some chick. The girl don't want nothing to do with Simon, and she basically like, get out my face, yada yada yada, back the beep off me, go on about your business, boom boom boom. So the bartender go down there, and she like, we got some problems or whatever like that. And the girl was like, well, I was having a good day until he came up in my face or whatever. So then she walked off, and then Simon basically said something to her, and she was like, Simon, you ain't nothing but an errand boy. What she call him? She called him something good, child. Let me look. She said, you ain't nothing but an errand boy bitch. Back the fuck up off me. I said, ooh, child. So then he grabbed her hands and was just like, because he was like, you better watch who you talking to or something like that. Because she was just like, either you eat, drink, or get the beep out. And that's when he was like, you better watch who you talking to, because he think he big shot and stuff. And that's what she had called him, an errand boy, bitch boy. So then Tommy, he at the end of the bar, but you know, he peeping it from his peripherals and stuff. And so she go back down there to the bar and give Tommy this menu and stuff. And he was like, oh, this menu look dope or whatever. She was like, yeah, but you gonna eat what I serve you. He was like, okay. So then dude go out to go to the alley or whatever. Tommy walk up on him. Now, you know, he ain't nothing. He ain't no type of real henchman, no real gangster, whatever, the way he perpetrate to be or whatever, because Tommy walked right up on him. Dude ain't even flinch or do nothing. It was like he didn't even know Tommy was there, because he steady on the phone talking about some drug deal and stuff, and then he pissing, and then Tommy walked up on him, and so dude was talking about some hey pussy or whatever like that. Tommy started bow, busting him up and stuff, and so he was like He was like, yeah, Tom Brady, but Larry Bird, he is a treasure. He's a national treasure. You don't talk about him. And so then he put his arm through the rail. Oh my God. The dude was like, I don't think you want to do this, man. He was like, but I think I do. And then he just stomped on his arm. So he broke dude's arm. I said, Jesus, stole the dude money and his phone. And then there was a drug deal coming through. So they was like, meet me in 2 hours or whatever. The bartender come out. She like, oh shit, hey. And he like, this won't blow back on you. She was like, no, whatever. And so he was looking like he about to leave. And she was like, your soup is ready. And so next thing we see, Tommy up there about Chicky Wow Wow and one little Miss Bartender. I said, okay, he got him a little chocolatey pudding. That's why I was like, was they really talking about soup for real? Or was they talking about soup? You know, y'all let me know. But anyway, we see the daughter, big sister, okay? And her name is Claudia. I think that's what her name was, child. But she has some basement club, child. She ready to party and screw, okay? She sees some little cutie dancing on the dance floor. She go over there, tongue her down, then they go back, and then they bow Chicky Wow Wow too. And then she's snorting cocaine off the girl. I said, I hope this ain't no tainted stuff, because you just taking stuff off of people. You don't know what they done mixed it in there and whatever like that. You could die. But she was in there, you know, doing what she wanted to do. And then she wanted to ask about more of the drugs. So it looked like she might try to go into business on her own behind the daddies and Vic's back. So I said, child, this is going to be a whole hot mess. Anyway, post-coital, we see Tommy and the bartender, and he sees some dog tags because he get ready to get up because he got a the phone buzz or whatever, and it was like, you gotta be here in 20 minutes or whatever. So he like, oh, I really got to go. And you know, they had some fun. They had a good little bow Chicky Wow Wow session and stuff like that. But then he peeped some dog tags. So he was like, you served? She was like, no, my husband did. You know, he went over there to combat and never returned. So they start talking about, you know, how they lost people or whatever. He don't really say that he lost Keisha, but he had a flashback of him looking at the engagement ring and stuff. And they start talking about marriage and whatnot. And he said he came close to being married. And she said, well, you still got time to, you know, get married or whatever. He was like, maybe. So then he leaves and stuff like that. He go to, no, we see Vic in the car. And then he calling Simon because he like, yo, you stood me up, dude. You stood me up, whatever. He calling Simon. We hear the phone ringing. We know Tommy got Simon's phone. So he pull up on Vic and he like, yo, he popped two in the window. He was like, the next going to your MF head or whatever. So Vic like, you don't know who you messing with. You don't know who you messing with, whatever. So Tommy put the gun up to his head and was like, don't make no moves. Hand me your gun. So he hands the piece or whatever. They end up in the elevator. Tommy asking him questions like, well, how many people did these people expect to come? He said 2. He said, all right. And how many people were supposed to be down here? He was just like 1. So he like, oh, okay, then we got the upper hand on the people or whatever. So they get down there. It's these 2 dudes. They look like they was high off something, child. Oh, God, excuse me. I'm sorry, y'all. They look like they got high off their own supply. And then we see D brother there. So I'm like, well, what he doing here? So they trying to figure out like what he doing here. They like, what you doing here? He was like, Zappo had called us down here or called me down here or whatever to split the profit 2 ways or something like that. And so they start talking about how Zamos or somebody with a Z was trying to screw them or whatever. So then Tommy looking at the dudes and he like, yo, these dudes is high. Like, what the hell y'all doing down here? Like, where the supply at? Did y'all check the stuff? Like, what's going on? And so little bro like, well, who this dude? They don't say nothing. Then Tommy asked Vic like, where the money at? Like, cause the 2 dudes who high off their own supply start pointing guns and stuff, talking about where the money at, just drop the money. And so they all looking like, well, what the hell is really going on, child? And so Vic ended up only having half the money. He didn't even have all the money. So he could have got shot either way, child. And little bro like, what? You ain't got the money. So then Tommy like, these crackheads. Tommy like, what the hell is this? Is y'all first cherry, y'all? This y'all first drop. Y'all ain't do this before. Little bro like, look here, crackhead number 1. Like, I ain't got nothing to do with them. I got my money. Can you just throw me my stash or whatever? So then it get real wild. Tommy trying to calm the two dudes down or whatever. And then I think one of the guys that started shooting, one of the crackheads or whatever child, he started shooting at them. So then they started shooting back. Little bro gun jam, so he could have been dead. Vic ain't had his gun because Tommy had his, but Tommy was, came out guns blazing, shot up one crackhead, and then went to the other crackhead and was like, cause you need to count the bullets. You gotta know your clip. This ain't no video game. I got 4 rounds in here or whatever like that. You ain't got nothing left because the dude kept clicking. It was like click, 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 click. And wasn't nothing coming out, right? So he steady pointing the gun. So Tommy was like 4, boop, 3, boop, 2, boop. So he started shooting. He was like, you don't want me to get to 1. So crackhead all shot up 3 times. He started running out. Tommy turned around to the other people and was like, no, Vic was like, I would have handled that if somebody had my gun. So Tommy like, here, take your gun back. It got 1 bullet in the chamber. Do what you got to do. So Vic, of course, don't do nothing. He steady pointing the gun at Tommy. Little bro like, yo, thank you or whatever like that. But, who is you? And so Tommy like, yo, this dude came down here light or whatever. So little bro like, you came down here light? The hell? Because both of them, Vic and little bro, was pointing the gun at Tommy. So Tommy like, look, y'all ain't about to do this to me. So Tommy turned it and was just like, he came down here light or whatever. So you need to talk to him or whatever. He was like, you came in here light or whatever like that. Yo, you need to pay this dude out your portion or whatever. So then Vic ends up giving Tommy some money because Tommy was like, my services is not for the free. So then he ends up giving him his little stash. Then Tommy goes over there, takes the drugs and the money and Vic's money. I think D had gave the crackhead some money. So he took everything that was in that bag. D was like, D little brother was like, yo, some of that is mine or whatever. Tommy was like, what you gonna do about it? And kind of walked out. I was just like, So then we see D. He's sleeping on the floor, and it looked like this his brother house or whatever. And so I was like, damn, he real institutionalized because he's just laying on the floor, not the bed and everything like that. So he got to work that out. Then him and his little brother, they walking down the street, they talking. So they talking about the good old days when they owned the whole block and stuff. And now they don't own anything or whatever like that. And so then D asked the little bro, like, yo, tell me what went down. Like, run that back through what happened. He was like, yo, I'm telling you what happened. Some dude came down and shot up the place. He came down there like Bin Laden, shot up the whole shit or whatever. And then he did with the bread and butter. So D thinking that Tommy worked for Glenn or Vic and them and stuff. And he like, no, if he worked for them, why would he take both the bread and butter? And then he fucked Vic up. So like, no. So then D was like, so you just telling me like some crazy ass white boy saved your ass. He was like, no, my gun jam. He was like, oh, okay. So you saying this crazy ass white boy with your gun, my gun jamming ass, saved my gun jamming ass and did with everything. He was like, yeah, like Casper the Ghost. That's what I'm telling you. He was like, all right, so I think we need to find Casper. I said, Lord, now Tommy got them on his back. So then we see Vic and the sis, they talking about what went down and stuff. And the sis like, well, why was you hanging with the Yardies anyway? And Vic like, it'll be another deal for us because Dad want to keep working with the CBI and he don't need to be working with them. And until we can be free from them, we ain't going to be able to sell no coke or whatever like that. So she telling him like, look, just watch your back. He was like, don't worry about me, worry about yourself. So then we see Tommy, he in his car, he looking up Flynn to see, like who he is. Then he looked it up, the CBI. And D was the head of the CBI, and it said he served 15 years. So then LA dude calling him, and Tommy don't answer, whatever. He go back to the nursing home. He starts talking to the grandmom. The grandmom ain't really responsive, but she did respond when Tommy showed this picture of him. And she was just like, Tommy. And then he was like, yeah, Grandma, Tommy, yeah. And then she went back into her fugue state or whatever. He got somebody watching him the whole time. And when he go out, the person following behind him. Tommy was just like, yo, who is you? Who sent you or whatever like that. He was like, I'm just trying to figure out why you talking to my grandmom or whatever. He was like, your grandmom, that's my grandmom. So child, turned out they brothers. Catherine, because it sounded like Catherine is the mama, so she was sleeping with somebody chocolatey and had another baby, but instead of her raising the baby, she gave the baby to the dad, and then instead of giving Tommy to his dad, she raised him. So they sitting up there like confused, bewildered, and stuff like that. Like, damn, I got a whole brother out here. So they trying to figure it out. Dude, Tommy light up a blunt or whatever, handed to the dude. He was like, no, that messed up my voice. He was like, y'all, your voice can't get no deeper than what it is. Because his voice was as deep as she was like, oh, my name is. But anyway, they start talking, and then Tommy ends, because he was like, well, who my mom? I want to meet her or whatever. He was like, yo, dude, you winning on the on this end of it, on this end of everything, because we all know that Kate ain't ish. So the brother still kind of want to know who she is and want to meet her and stuff like that. But Tommy like, you don't need to worry about her. Like, you out here winning and doing big things or whatever. Tommy ended up getting his phone number and was like, he gonna call him later on or whatever. So then we see D and his little bro at the barbershop. I guess it was like a family thing or somewhere where they set up at or whatever. The little bro ends up telling D that he brought the barbershop and now it's clean, it's all good, all the taxes is paid on it, and he don't owe nothing on it. It's his barbershop. So of course he all excited, he happy and stuff, and they saying they gonna keep the name the same or whatever. And then we find out what CBI stands for. It stands for Chicago Brothers Incorporated. And D not really feeling the way the little bro handling stuff, because he like, well, all that rando stuff, like, I don't like that. Like, we gotta clean stuff up. I'm not into killing things or whatever. And so the little bro like, look, I gotta handle some stuff, but we gonna talk about all that later, and I'm gonna take you out tonight. So he was like, all right. So the little bro dipped. We see Tommy, he getting some gas. He looking at his little brother phone number. He ends up balling the phone number up. And then because Tommy's so emotional and everything like that, he gets the number out and he won't call the brother. You know, he gonna call the brother later, child. And so then we see somebody walking into the barbershop. So D like, we not open or whatever. We not up for business or whatever. Maybe give it like a couple of weeks. We gonna be open for business. I can give you a cut. So he was like, all right. So the dude, he sat down and was like, yo, I used to love this shop. So you the owner or whatever? And he asking like a bunch of questions like, where you been? I ain't never seen you around here. Yada, yada, yada. So then D, he getting real like, who this dude asked me all these questions? So he about to pull out like a knife or some scissors out the barber kit or something, child. Dude get a call and he pulls up to get his phone. Turn out he a marshal or something. So I'm like, oh God. So D peeps that or whatever, but he don't say nothing. And so dude was like, all right, I'll be there in 5 minutes. So he get up and was like, so if I come back in a couple of weeks, I can get me a cut. He was like, yeah, you welcome back or whatever like that. And the first cut is on the house. He was like, no, I always pay my debts or something like that. And so then when he leaving, he was just like, yeah, welcome back, Diamond. I said, what's going on with them two? But anyway, we see Tommy. He get a call from Rodolfo, and Rodolfo like, where you at? I'm your boss, yada, yada, yada. Tommy like, look, I gotta call you back, because there's like 3 big ass Escalades on him. There's 1 in the back, 2 on the side. They boxed him in. He tried to spin out of it, but they boxed him in or whatever like that. Of course, it's the people who work for Walter Flint. So then he get the old timer come out the car with this big, they all was strapped like this. And so the big timer get out the car and was like, didn't I tell you to leave or whatever, not to start no ish with these Flynn people? And he was like, look, my bad, I got a short fuse and a long memory. So he was like, drive. So then they drive to the Walter Flynn estate and stuff like that. And Walter Flynn out there, he talking to Tommy about fires and cows and the Bible. And Tommy like, can we stop talking about all this shit and get down to the nitty gritty? And so then, Tommy was like, if you wanted me dead, I'd be dead already. So you obviously don't want me dead. So you're welcome for me saving your son's life or whatever like that. And then he hands the bag of dope and the money and stuff. So the dad was like, Walter Flynn was like, I'm gonna clean up all your mess that you start over here, that you did here. Like, you did all this mess, you shed all this blood, yada, yada, yada. I'm gonna clean that up for you. But I need you to hit on out my city or whatever. So Tommy like, all right, whatever, child. And so he goes to his car. So he driving in his car. He ends up calling Rodolfo. No, Vic, before all that, Vic and them showed up late or whatever. So then when Tommy left, the dad just kicked the bag of dope and money to Vic. And so then Tommy in his car, and then, no, I think his phone rang. His phone rang, Rodolfo answered, or we don't even know if it really was Rodolfo, child, because Tommy was just like, Rodolfo, go F yourself. I'm not leaving. I'm going to business myself. I don't work for nobody. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm about to start up my own game here in Chicago. I like it here. And then he banged the phone. Well, no, he didn't really bang the phone. He threw the phone out the window. I said, but Tommy, now you gotta get you a new phone. Like, what was the point of that? Now you gotta buy a new phone. Like, did you finish paying off that phone? Like, what's going on, Tommy? You ain't really had to hang up the phone. You could just block him. That'd have been easier than like throwing the phone out the window. But who is me? I ain't counting Tommy money. He might got money like that. Just to buy a new iPhone or a new Android or something like that, child. But anyway, that was the episode. I think it's gonna be cute. I don't know. I like seeing Tommy, so we'll see. You know how like the first episodes be kind of like womp womp because they gotta, you know, bring in the new characters, talk about the new characters and stuff like that. So it'll be a little dry before it's real good. But for our first episode, it brought in a lot of players and a lot of conflict and all that other stuff. And then it's Tommy. So I'm gonna be watching. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all felt about the episode down there in them comments. Like I said, if you end up liking this review recap, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button, hit the subscribe button if you are not already subscribed, and then hit that notification bell to be notified when I drop new videos. All right, y'all, until next time.